Hello, I'm Patricia Montoya. I am the founder of Titiposa. I offer mediumship readings, spiritual messages, tarot readings, energy healing. I'm a medium. I'm so many things all in one. My purpose in this life is to share the message of the afterlife, talk about death, talk about energy healing, talk about how to kind of help you overcome these obstacles that show up in our everyday life, such as traumas, inherited emotions, um, inherited trauma, ancestral healing. So there's so much more to talk about, but I wanted to start talking about mediumship, the afterlife, and kind of some of the biggest questions that I get when I do mediumship readings for my clients. So let's get started. So talking about mediumship, one of the biggest questions I get is, are they safe? Are they okay? Are they, how are they? And I think that my first reaction is like, they're fine. They're perfectly fine. Like they're better, not better, obviously, right? We're selfish people. We want them here with us. But they are safe. They're okay. So, the biggest kind of story for me, personally, was that kind of while I was figuring this out for myself, right? I My brother had just passed away. Our doctor, who's also a medium, energy healing, all of these things I admire so much. She told us he can hear you. He's fine. He's good. And she was kind of such a reassuring force for me, and I think that was kind of what started this process for me. But that made me feel so well. So I don't know, I don't think I've shared this much, but when my brother died, his name was Pablo. He was 16 years old. I was 18. Um, we used to play like, punching. And he was sick with leukemia. So if I touched him, punch him, he would get bruises. It was very obvious that I was punching him, but he would punch me. So I needed to punch him back, right? So when he passed away, he was in the hospital bed, right? Dead. And I was so angry. I was so like filled up with fury. There's just no words how I felt. I was just so pissed off that he had left me. I felt, you abandoned me, you left me in this world with my parents and my sister, and I just felt so alone. I was like, you cannot leave me. We were a team. Like we were in this together. So I started hitting him like softly. Nothing too crazy, but just kind of like, I'm angry. And you know what? It just kind of felt like, okay, we're at least at peace with that, like, um, everybody has a very different relationship with their siblings, but for me, that was very helpful. So coming back to the story I was trying to explain, I share this story because when we pass away, we go into this beautiful, magical place. There's no anger, there's no resentment, there's no guilt, there's no like this difficult emotions that we carry within ourselves, right? We go into this place of just pure love, energy, magic, right? How someone described it to me when my mom passed away, after she told me that my mom was seeing me crying and I should stop. No, I was crying a lot. She's like, there's just so much love and there's so much love to give, right? So I share all of these stories because when they pass away, they go into this afterlife world, the spirit world, I call it. You can kind of refer to it differently, but it's a space with so much love and compassion, and they're good. They're so good because they're not carrying these heavy energies that we carry with ourselves. They're not carrying guilt, they're not carrying shame, they didn't take with them the debt, the financial situations that we carry our everyday. They're not taking with them that belief of I never bought myself a yacht, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Those materialistic things do not matter. They're just carrying with them the love, the experience, the people that live with them. So all of that to say is, whenever you're doubting that, how are they? Are they safe? Are they good? Let me tell you, they're good, they're loved, that they're in such a health space. It just kind of just imagine going back to, you know, like that, like a womb, right? You're just held by someone else. You're held by this amount of love and compassion, right? The second thing that I tell people is, once we die, we go into this kind of, well, the first thing is we go into this kind of hospital space. Not hospital. Hospital has a bad connotation, but like a spa, right? We go into a spa week, a spa month, a spa year. It doesn't matter. There's no timelines there. And we're just pampered and held and hold and loved, and we can access our loved ones. We can reach out to them. We can, you know, have all of this experience. We're supported by our spiritual guides. On top of that, when we pass away, again, there's no timeline. There's no like, oh, it has to be 2 years, 2 weeks. In the spirit world, the time works so differently than they do here on earth. So after they feel like, okay, I can take this on, right? They move into the idea of looking at their lives, right? We come into this world with a mission and a purpose. And we have a feeling, right? Like, and we look and we kind of assess our lives, right? And we're in a, they call it pods, or, well, from the person I learned about this, they refer to them as pods. So you have like a pod, so it's kind of your soul friend group, right? So it's kind of a school, and you're in a classroom with 5 or 6 souls. And those souls don't necessarily mean that they're your brother or your sister in the lifetime. They can be a mentor, they can be a teacher, they can be your son, right? It doesn't work exactly the same as it does in this earth. But these souls go through the same things over and over with you. And basically you have a guide, you have a spirit guide that guides you and talks to you and works through you. So just kind of imagine you're like writing a thesis, right? And you're like doing your research and you're evaluating, and you have that mentor, that spirit guide to look at these things with you. So I always tell them that they're evaluating their lives with so much love and compassion, right? It's not like, oh my God, I didn't say thank you here, or I hit my son and I am a horrible person. It's like, oh wow, I should have not done that, right? I can see that. I can see how I hurt this person. So they just go through this beautiful process. Again, they're held with so much love and so much support and so many resources that we do not have in this earth, or if we do, we're not accessing as much as they are. So whenever you're worried about them kind of suffering, they're in the most beautiful and loving space that there is. They're surrounded by all of these spirit guides and loved ones that are just accompanying and guiding them through. And they can listen to you, so talk to them. There's so many more topics I want to discuss, but I wanted to keep it short and simple for this first video. I'll go into more detail of other topics that show up in my client sessions a lot, and you can kind of follow me on YouTube. I hope to do this more often, so if you have any questions that you want to be answered, let me know. I'll make sure that I make a video about it. Bye bye.